Hello again, and welcome to another edition of CropLife Retail Week from our various undisclosed locations. Mine's still pretty scraggly. I'm still getting harassed about it, and I think I might be doing some painting this weekend of this mess behind me here.
Now, let's be honest here, Paul. I think I'm the only one who's been giving you grief regarding your rather unfinished backdrop from your undisclosed locations.
No, you're not in every meeting, sir. It does come up.
Okay.
Like, where the heck are you?
I was going to say, at least it distracts from the curtains in my son's bedroom, where I happen to be. So,
my. So, well, I know we got a bunch of interesting stuff we're going to get into. You had some, and I saw, I think some of that clarification on the seeds.
Yes,
that's pretty
the
interesting.
magical mystery seeds, if you want to do a Beatles reference in there. So, sorry. No, actually, the seeds that people have been receiving in the United States that seem to be coming from China, we found out this week. Some folks have actually turned the seeds in, and they've now been looked at and have been identified. Seems like, Paul, a lot of these seeds are herbs or fruits and vegetables, but there's also some weed seeds mixed in there as well. And experts are still advising folks not to plant them, but to turn them into the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Services, which is a branch of USDA in their areas. So the seeds can be properly disposed of and taken care of without any risk of contaminating the ground that we have here in the United States.
Yeah, I think I heard that it was more of a mail scam than anything. I think they're trying to establish people's real locations so that the purchases can be traced back to what they call the verified purchaser review.
Correct.
Which
yes,
I guess
yep.
that's the coveted review on Amazon and elsewhere is a verified purchaser. So if they verified that something was delivered to you, that you were a purchaser, that you could go back and attribute it to other kinds of products that were delivered. And so, yeah, so we all know those reviews online are a little sketchy anyway. So they just got a little sketchier.
Exactly.
So interesting stuff. So it doesn't look like it's a bid to spread Palmer across the country, but it is definitely it's definitely a scam of some sort.
Yes, and I heard much the same thing. I think there's a term for that. I think it's called brushing, but I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me on that one, but I'll have an article in the next week or so talking about the mystery seeds. So I'll get the terminology correct by then. So.
Very good, sir. We also saw that there was in the news an acquisition. Brandt bought a retailer called Morton in Iowa. And I guess the significance of that was that Brandt consolidated was in Indiana, Illinois. It's Illinois. I knew that. Is now in Iowa for the first time. So that'll be of interest to Iowa competitors. We'll see if that continues, that expansion grows. So that was one thing we saw this week.
Yes, yes. And thank you for a little of a transition, talking about going across state lines. I'll use that as my transition. We did find out, Paul, from our sister magazine, Cotton Grower, this week that there's some troubling news being discovered out in the fields. Of course, for years and years and years, growers across the country and ag retailers have been dealing with Palmer amaranth, or pigweed, one of the most resistant and hard to control weeds out there. And now we have found out that researchers in Arkansas and Tennessee are reporting that they seem to have discovered some varieties of Palmer that are resistant to dicamba, 2,4-D, and glufosinate. So again, if this is confirmed, that is going to be really, really troubling news for growers in the Mid-South.
And the weed issues are just more significant down there. And, some of our best weed scientists in the country are, Stanley Culpepper and folks like that are down there watching this stuff. And the escapes, the real serious problems seem to really be in the warmer climate, that area that they just seem to see a little of everything more rapidly than anywhere else.
Yep. Well, and again, if you're If our viewers are interested in this topic a little more in depth, keep your eyes out for the September edition of CropLife magazine. We've got a weed resistance update coming up in that print edition that will also be online then starting on September 1st. So.
Absolutely. So you got anything else?
Yeah, one other thing, of course, we've been talking about all the events that have been postponed or canceled or pushed back on the calendar because of COVID-19. And I guess it was, I hadn't realized this had already happened, but we got a press release recently that said the 2020 Safety School, which was normally held in Bloomington, Illinois, at the Asmark Institute facility in conjunction with the annual Maggie Show, has now officially been canceled because of COVID concerns. And the association that puts that together says they look forward to seeing everyone hopefully come 2021 when hopefully things have resumed their normal shape when it comes to in-person events.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so, sir.
Yes.
Been a weird year.
Yes, and the only other thing is just to a little shout out to our friend Amy Asmus for her Cooking with Amy segment, which aired on last week's video. So again, Amy, thank you very much for preparing what looked like very delicious food. And once Paul and I can get near a kitchen together, we'll certainly try the recipe for ourselves. But again, hopefully got a lot of good feedback from viewers that have tried your sliders with lamb's quarter accoutrements.
Yeah, I got a lot of interesting things growing in my lawn. I have to see if I've got any lamb's quarters floating around out there. Give it a try.
Yep. So that's about it for this week, I think, Paul.
All right. Well, thanks again for joining us. We appreciate it. And stay well, stay safe, and we'll see you next week.
If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below.
Your feedback is important to us. We'll try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode.
And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.